All right, looks like we're live. Checking stream health. Stream looks good. All this looks good here. All right. Well, good evening, everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Pinero with another weather podcast at the green screen. I actually checked the last time I was at the green screen was the 4th of July, a while ago. I had vacations and work schedule kind of messed that up, but I am here now. And, oh, hello? There's an echo somewhere. Hello. All right, that got rid of the echo now. All right, so let's talk some weather, but before we get to the northeast weather, I do want to show you right here. This is the West Coast. They're dealing with a lot of wildfires right now. All these little specks right there, that's the smoke coming off of the wildfires. It's amazing. You could actually spot all of these in that ring right, and kind of like a ring going around or a curve. They're still going. I can't believe these wildfires are still going. And to look at the satellite, this is the live looping satellite right now. You can see those straight streaks of clouds. It's actually smoke. Yeah, the other little puffy areas, yeah, that's regular clouds. But let me see if I could zoom in real tight here. Oh, it doesn't let me loop when I'm doing that. Oh, it does. There we go. Oh, that's top. That's weird. There we go. That works. All right, so here, you see that the streaky clouds, all those thin streaks, all of those, there's a whole long line here. And that's actually quite interesting. Following this line, you could see the fire progression going south. That's just amazing to me to see. Huh. These are still going, and the smoke going into the atmosphere does affect something and creates a little rare phenomenon, a fire tornado or a fire-nado. Let me see if I just pull up an image real quick here. This one's from The Guardian. Let me go this side. That's just incredible. Perfect skies. It's just there's so much heat coming down along the fire there. It's essentially kind of like the way thunderstorms work. And the way that works is the sun heats the ground radiates that heat back up, the air is warmed. As that warmed air rises, it encounters cooler air above it, and then it cools that parcel of air, that air drops, and that's what creates that convection. And then that vertical, or I should say sideways rotation of convection needs a draft or needs some wind. And then it takes that horizontal rotation and then turns it into this vertical column, which is a tornado. In this case, it's a fire-nado. That I thought was incredible and pretty amazing. So that's the fire-nado, fire tornado. Now let's talk about our area. The sun's slowly setting, so you can see the clouds starting to darken. But right now, we'll just take a look at this one, which is the visible. There's a whole bunch of satellite images we can go through, but I'll pull that up right here. A little bit of some convection and some storms coming in. Let's see. Oh, there's a fresh image. Right through here, right in there, you can see that line. So this is with the visible. It's getting too dark right now. I hope everybody doesn't mind. My air conditioner just automatically turned on, so if you hear some background, it's too humid, and I got a lot of equipment in here. It needs to stay cool and dry, so I got that going. I got that going for me. Where was it? Oh, switching this from visible to, where is that? Ah, this was the main one. So we're gonna go into 2 kilometer infrared northeast. And we'll loop this. So essentially, with infrared, the way this works, the darker clouds are warmer, and I'll see if I can pull the legend up here. Here's the temperature scale in Kelvin. The warmer temperatures are black to this dark gray. The cooler temperatures are getting down to white. And with thunderstorms, you have rising motion in the sky, and those clouds, that cumulonimbus cloud, really starts growing. And when that cumulonimbus cloud really starts to grow, it hits the cooler air in the atmosphere, and thus the cloud gets cooler. So here, see all this low-level cloud because it's warmer. But right here specifically, just entering, I'd say northwest New Jersey, that's brighter, thus cooler, which means there's a thunderstorm. So when we take a look at the radar with that, hello Raymond. Raymond, you're jumping way too far ahead. We're not talking about anything in the future. We're doing nowcasting. So those clouds, it actually looks like, let me see if I can refresh this. I don't think that was the latest. That's the latest. So switching between these two, we have that very cool air right there in the clouds. So that means that's pretty much a thunderstorm because of the vertical growing clouds. And when we look at the radar image, it kind of matches up right about there with that line coming through. And now let's take a little bit of a closer look too. And on Raymond, unfortunately, there's not really too much in terms of storminess going on where you are. Raymond, you have to live in the present. You can't live in the future. But where you are, there's not really much happening right now. All this is probably going to start fading away, dissipating as the sun sets. That's why this last little energy pulse going through New Jersey is causing a little bit of issues. And yes, the marginal risk, I'm not sure what time of the day, because before dawn, there was a lot of rain and a lot of storms that happened. But right now, it's really just fading away. And this is the current live radar right here. What is that? West Milford, New Jersey. It looks like a little storm there. And there's no towns around this one yet. White House Station. Right near White House Station there. Hello, Timothy. And Timothy, I'm kind of in the middle between you and Raymond. I don't like the heat wave. I do like one day of 90 and then a couple of cool days after that in the 70s to the 80s. But my preferred temperature, 72 to 70. That's it. Or I guess you could say a full range is 68 to 72. That's my preferred temperature range. Timothy, Raymond, what is your preferred temperature range or set temperature? I like that 68 to 72. What do you guys like? let's put this radar in motion now. All right. Radar's in motion. We see that line. Ooh, we got to see something interesting here. We'll just focus on this one first. Nothing really too out of the ordinary with this one. But you notice as it's going through, it looks like it's starting to weaken. That's because the sun's setting now at 7:20. I think that's not too far off from sunset for a lot of areas. But I see something interesting on this southern cell. Besides the fact that it's diminishing a little bit and weakening, look right down here. Look at that. Let me get this zoomed in a little bit more. Yes. Oh, yeah, we can even take a look at that too. The Hawaiian Islands with that hurricane. All right, right here. We got those thunderstorms there, but look at this. See that? Can anybody guess what that is? Or does anybody know? Yes, Timothy, good. Outflow boundary. I love seeing those. That means that's pretty much the tail end of that storm. That energy pulse is really falling apart. So as that convection starts losing its energy, all of that extra, I guess, mass in the atmosphere, mass can't go anywhere upward because it's losing that upward momentum. So it has to dissipate outward. And as it's dissipating outward, that's not actually rain. Or there could be probably a little bit of rain in there, but that is that outflow boundary. Interesting to see on the radar. Gust front outflow boundary, there's a couple different names there. Hello, Pete. Thanks for joining. Looks like we got the stream going pretty well, too. So we're just looking in the area, in our area, the Northeast right now. But we'll take a look at Hawaii, too, for a little bit. Even though it's not really affecting us, there's some stuff happening around there. But, yeah, interesting to see that gust front outflow boundary. A couple different names that you can call it. That just means these storms are weakening. And you can see right there, it just poof, right out. And then anything else really behind it's not going to have the energy source, which is the sun, anymore. Unfortunately, the sun is setting earlier and it's rising later, so winter is coming. That's what that means. So, this is the radar for our area. Let me see if I can get Hawaii. Can I get Hawaii? I don't know if they have anything here. Oh wow, there's some stuff in there. Let's see, loading, it's loading. There's that. Looks like it's still loading. There we go. All right. Here's Hawaii. Now, this looks like a radar boundary. Where's the radar station? Is that... I'm not too familiar with Hawaii. Is there a mountain range there? Because if there's a mountain range, it looks like the base... So, where that blue dot is, that's the radar station itself. I don't know if this means there's a mountain range kind of blocking all of that. Daytime heating convection. That's a description of it. That's not really The official term, the official meteorological term is diurnal heating. That's it. You have nocturnal and diurnal during the day, diurnal heating. I want to see if I can switch the radar station. And we'll wait again. Maybe. That's the one I'm waiting for the download of. That's the one that basically this image is from. There we go. It's also kind of showing that block. So that must be where the mountains are. Again, I'm not too familiar with Hawaii. The mountains and the volcanoes essentially are kind of casting a shadow. So, yeah, it looks like there's a shadow. So if that's there's the radar station, that's the shadow coming out this way from the mountain range of the volcano. But you're still seeing these outer bands of the hurricane coming in. Kilauea. Yeah, I think, Timothy, it's the mountain peaks, Kilauea possibly, like you said, Raymond, blocking that radar beam. But let's see. Let me go this way. We're going to switch out of Atlantic. Where do I get Hawaii? You can tell I don't forecast for Hawaii normally. All right, how do I zoom in? There was an EF1 Pennsylvania, tornado in Pennsylvania. I was not aware of that. Right now I'm just trying to get Hawaii. There's the button. It was hidden on me. All right, there's Lane. So we're out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, the Hawaiian Islands. Ignore the mouse. Lane. I do know they were talking about evacuations underway right now. That's kind of the cone of uncertainty going in there. We got through 11 a.m. Wednesday. They didn't show that, I guess 5 p.m. their time didn't happen yet. That was why. So major hurricane through a good chunk of tomorrow. Going through that overnight turns into just not a major hurricane. It's still a hurricane by Saturday. That's going to be a lot. Let's see if I go back. All right, let's get these statistics. Oh, we got Category 4. Maximum sustained wind, 135 knots, 155 miles per hour. Good amount of low pressure there, 935 millibars. And moving northwest at 7 knots, 8 miles per hour. Slow. That is a slow mover. If you're if you're in Hawaii, it's probably too late to evacuate, but that's something that could be very, With tornadoes, we call it a PDS, particularly dangerous situation. I'd say this is a particularly dangerous situation with Hurricane Lane. Slow mover, a lot of rain, a lot of wind. There's going to be devastation for days. All right, so that's the National Hurricane Center products. I want to see if I can get the satellite from there. No, this one doesn't have it there. Here's Hawaii. All right. Remember, they're still in daylight. So a couple of things with hurricanes. Yes. I see, oh, there we go. Anthony, will the slow movement help cause weakening? Not so much. The slow movement doesn't cause weakening or strengthening. What would cause weakening are mountain ranges. All right, thinking back. That was 20 minutes before it crashed out. Oh well. There comes all the chats. Now I see everything again. All right, back to Anthony, what you were asking. Will the slow movement help weaken it? No, the shear. Hurricanes don't like shear. They like to have very even wind patterns throughout the atmosphere, from the ocean to the top of the troposphere, the tropopause. What happens when you hit the mountain range? The very high levels that are near that mountain range slow down. When winds slow down at the top versus the bottom, that's creating that shear. Shear is great for tornadoes. Without wind shear, a tornado cannot happen. Opposite for hurricanes. Wind shear kills hurricanes. So we need very even amounts of wind, very little wind shear. We will be seeing wind shear once it starts approaching the Hawaiian Islands. And Anthony, no, the water is the fuel source for the hurricanes. Very warm water out there in the Atlantic, in the Pacific. Anywhere around that Hawaiian Islands area has warm water, and the warm water, essentially 80 degrees Fahrenheit or above, is enough to fuel a hurricane. So that is the fuel source, is the warm water, not really sucking up the water and cooling the top. That warm water is the fuel source for the hurricane. And Raymond, yes, Joe Chaffee was correct there. There's not much data with that. Loki? Thor's brother Loki? And Anthony, you're very welcome. Oh, also, I hit 100 subscribers! Yay! That was my first milestone I wanted. Also, I hit 10,000 total views on the channel. So 100 subscribers, 10,000 views. Thank you all for subscribing. And anybody that hasn't subscribed, definitely subscribe so you get more of this weather content. I try and do the weather podcast, whether it's at the green screen or outside at a car show. I tried to go last week live. Unfortunately, there was no cell phone service, so I couldn't do that. But I did get that car video, and that was a pretty popular upload, it seems, from this month with the car show I posted or published on Sunday. But thank you all. It's exciting. And also, because I hit 100 subscribers, I got one extra little feature with YouTube. I have a custom URL. It's just youtube.com/Andrew Pinero. Very simple, very easy, straightforward. The original URL, which still is active, youtube.com/DrewMan0913. That was my high school Google account, which probably about, what is it, 12, 13 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago I made that. I didn't think I was ever going to become a YouTuber, and I think that at that time, YouTube wasn't really a thing. What was that? Yeah. I graduated in high school in 2009, and I've had that probably since 2005. So, long time I had that name, and really didn't fit or suit this YouTube channel. So that's where I really wanted to get to 100 subscribers and get that custom URL, and I did. Thank you all for that. I couldn't have done it without you. So again, youtube.com/Andrew Pinero. Pineiro. That's how the last name is spelled. That's my YouTube channel. The fire pit live streams. That is tricky for me because I have a lot of morning shifts where I have to wake up anywhere between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m., all depending on the day. So I can't do the live by the fire pit at night if I have to go to bed somewhere between, say, 8 p.m. and 10 p.m., because that's when I would be doing it. I'd say do it similar to this, 7 p.m. to 8 or 9 o'clock. I do kind of like that vibe. I kind of miss that. And Anthony, I'm reading your comment there. When do you get, also here. Timothy, when do you get the super chat button? 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers is when I get super chat, because that's when money starts getting involved. Right now, for YouTube, I am not making any money whatsoever. But I have, besides YouTube, I have DTube, decentralized YouTube, which essentially is all based off of the blockchain and cryptocurrency. So I upload a video to DTube, and there's no ads. There's still no ads anywhere on DTube. The way that works is if the community likes my video and they start liking, it's called an upvote on DTube. I make a video that likes my video. The more powerful one particular person is on YouTube, on DTube, say particularly DTube itself, if they like your video, you get a lot of money. Like the first video I put up, which was an introduction, DTube liked the DTube introduction video, and immediately I just made $50. So that's DTube, a little bit more lucrative than YouTube right now, but that may change. I'm at 100 subscribers. That may change at 1,000 subscribers. One of my friends, good friends from work that I do YouTube with, he hasn't actually posted in a while, but Stanley George, which you've seen on the channel in a couple of different videos, and on Sunday he was in the car show video along with my friend Devinder. He has like 23,000 subscribers. But anyway, back to answer your original question. I can't get Super Chat until 1,000 subscribers because that's the threshold needed to be able to monetize any video on YouTube as of right now. Originally, when I started this February of 2017, then anybody could monetize. Then they changed it to you need 10,000 total channel views. Boom, got that. Nope, they changed it again earlier in the year, I think associated with the Logan Paul situation, which is a very sore spot for YouTube, was Logan Paul and the Suicide Forest, which he did a very bad thing, and it affected all the YouTubers because YouTube then changed the monetization requirements to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours on YouTube. My ratio, when I look at my analytics, at 100 subscribers, I'm at about 420 watch hours. So 1,000 subscribers would be about 4,200. So I'm kind of right there, assuming the ratio is very linear that way. Oh wow, 27th and 28th was the anniversary of Irene. And Anthony, thank you. And if you don't hear from Joe Chaffee, I will let him know. And yesterday when I was doing the live stream, it was a quick live stream because usually Tuesdays I like to do games and storms with my gaming computer. I like the game stream from there or my PlayStation 4. Gaming and talking about storms. That didn't happen yesterday, so I just did a live stream from my car in the middle of my lunch break. Well, we were talking about the winter. So Pete, I had some quick thoughts if you want to hear them all. Gotta wait a little bit more for a winter outlook forecast, which I am not going to have until at least mid to late September. Still too early to have an official call for that. However, what we were talking in that, Raymond, yes, you remember El Nino. I'm not sure what those symbols are that you put in the comments because it looks like a check mark, E umlaut in check mark fee. That's what I see. But El Nino, like you said, Raymond, is starting. So yeah, El Nino's starting, just reading through all your comments. The other thing too, and this is actually what I was just talking about, Anthony, with your question about the water being pulled up. Warm water is the fuel source of hurricanes. There was a lot of Pacific activity recently because of the warm water. That is an indicator of this El Nino. So we're in this transition of El Nino starting. And specifically, there's an El Nino, there we go, ENSO. Just want to see what they're saying. So right here, can you guys see my background? That just went out. Oh, I think I know what I have to do. Okay, I don't think it affected you guys, but my side monitors went blank from when the app crashed before. But here, sea surface temperature, observe sea surface temperature anomalies in Celsius. So right here, This looks like the Philippines. That's Australia. That's right there, South America, Mesoamerica. And right here, this is all the Pacific. Yellow, that's above average. There are some cool spots out there, but you see the bulk of the Pacific here, right specifically at the equator. That is 0 degrees latitude right there. That's where the warm waters are, anomalous warm waters. Let's say 2 to possibly, yeah, it looks like more like 2 at most. 2 degrees Celsius above average. What you think? That's not a lot. It is for the ocean. It goes into science a little bit, but water, the specific heat of water, fancy science term, water takes a lot of energy to change by 1 degree Celsius. If you take a flame and hold it to water, it's not really gonna, it's like you have a gas burning stove. It's not gonna heat up very quickly. You turn on the gas, it could take maybe a minute or two before the water starts boiling. But if you turn on the gas and hold aluminum right over there, that's gonna heat up very quickly. That's what specific heat's all about. Water has a very low, if not the lowest specific heat of any substance we know of. I'm not sure if it's total, but very low specific heat. So it takes a lot of energy to change it by 1 degree Celsius. And when you're talking about a whole ocean, a change of, say, 2 to 3 degrees Celsius is actually a lot of energy. And they're kind of related, Raymond, with the Atlantic. If this is all about the equilibrium, Mother Nature trying to balance things out. The Pacific is warmer, the Atlantic is cooler. That's kind of a balance that tries to form. So it looks like, yeah, we are going to be going into some El Nino. And I'll have a video coming out probably about a month from now about winter outlook, because we're starting to get into that near winter season. Winter is coming. And back to the live radar. Let me see if I could switch back to the southern radar. All right, so yeah, we could see bands coming on in. Not a good time to be in Hawaii right now. All right, Raymond, you wanted the future? Here comes the future with some of these forecast models. So GFS, we're going back to the northeast. We're switching gears there. Northeast area, this is 8 p.m., which is in about 10 minutes. We got a lot of precipitation throughout all the northeast, and even a little bit more throughout the Hudson Valley, going into the Finger Lakes region. We're still not out of the woods just yet with the precipitation, but that looks like it's going to be changing. Even by 8 a.m. tomorrow, high pressure comes in right over there. And with this high pressure, it's very strong, 1022 millibars is what that GFS is saying. Although it's breezy, look at this. You see those isobars? They're pretty tightly packed together. That means there's a lot of pressure gradient going on, a high pressure gradient, which makes wind. The other thing I'm noticing here too, isotherms or isotax technically, but we'll think of these as lines of temperature versus the isobar. If I zoom in very tight right there, this I had a whole semester on in college about the study of these isotax, which are heights. I forgot the exact word, but these are height measurements, not temperature. Those are related between the thickness of the atmosphere and the temperature, but they're not temperature lines, but we can kind of think of them this way. If we see here, it's probably, I think that's exactly a 90-degree angle, if not very close to a 90-degree angle. The idea with that was the closer it is between the closer to 90 degrees between these isotherms, we'll just call them for right now, and the isobar determines the strength of the warm air or cold air advection. This is warm air, so we're dealing with warm air advection, and that means it's as strong as it can be with this warm air advection. If the angle changes, and maybe that line was coming in a little bit this way, going up that way, kind of like that, not 90 degrees, less than 90 degrees, less advection going on. If that line there is parallel to the isobar, that means there's no advection going on at all. Oh, I'm seeing your comments here. Sandy is very controversial because of what the National Weather Service had it. So I have my own theories with this because of the data that I've collected. With Sandy, the difference between, and Superstorm Sandy is a bullshit term. There's no meteorological term at all with that. The official meteorological term would be post-tropical storm or post-tropical cyclone Sandy. It's not sexy. It's not television sexy to say, oh, we got post-tropical cyclone Sandy. Superstorm Sandy, that's a more television sexy word. So, it's stuck. The difference between a post-tropical cyclone and a hurricane or a tropical storm has to deal with the core. Warm core versus cold core. Warm core means at the very center of the low pressure of the hurricane, the eye of the hurricane, it's warmer than the outskirts. From the center on outward, the temperature's dropping. Anything that's post-tropical or just a general low pressure system that's kind of blowing through the US, it's colder at the center of that low pressure than the outside, so the temperature's going up as you go away from the low pressure center. That's kind of your regular kind of storms, synoptic scale storms is kind of what it's called, but that would be just general. The tropical system specifically, it's warmer at the center than at the outskirts. Now, what I was doing was, I think it was like 8 or 9 p.m. where I was watching this, so the sun had set already, it was dark. The temperature was increasing as the center of Sandy was getting closer to me. It's warm core then. It's a hurricane. I think I'm back. Oh. All right. Okay, no echo now. Everything's back on. Let's just say that was the man trying to end my Sandy discussion. Anyway, what actually happened, and this happened earlier in the stream, this app just crashed. It's a great app from a company called Teradek, but it crashes. And wow, 21 minutes and 19 seconds was the first, because it's recording right now as it's live streaming. So YouTube does a compression thing and a process thing, so it's not the highest quality. It's always best to record while you're streaming. The first recording was 21 minutes and 19 seconds. The second recording was 21 minutes and 18 seconds. I guess after 21 minutes and 18 seconds, the app just crashes and it can't handle it. Oh well. It's going now. It's recording again. Delvin, you were overfed. Hello. Welcome. $7:21 in Boston. And anyway, before the buffering situation, what I was saying was Sandy was a hurricane. Warm core means the center of the low pressure system is warmer than the outskirts. So as you get closer to the low pressure center, the temperature goes up. So where I wasn't moving, and it was after sunset, so you would think the temperature goes down after sunset. The low pressure center is slowly approaching me. The temperature's going up into the night. Warm core. There's a lot of other factors involved with it, but that's one of the biggest ones is the warm core, which it was a warm core system. That's why it actually was a hurricane when Sandy made landfall, not a post-tropical cyclone, or as the media badged the sexy term, superstorm. It was a hurricane. The National Hurricane Center was politically driven to change the title from hurricane to post-tropical. Why? Insurance companies. Insurance companies that protect and have hurricane insurance and offer hurricane insurance would lose a lot of money paying out all the money to fix everything. If the National Hurricane Center changes the name from a hurricane to a post-tropical cyclone, then all of a sudden the hurricane insurance and all the insurance companies have no obligation to deal out any money or to issue any money to anybody that has hurricane insurance because it was not a hurricane. It was politically driven. Increase the audio. Will do. Boosted it up a little bit. Let me try a little bit more. All right. That is as comfortably high as I would want it because I do have air conditioner kind of running in the background. And this microphone that I'm wearing does a great job at blocking out all that background sound. First strike? What do you mean first strike? All right, at least streaming-wise, it looks fine. I sound better? Great. So, besides that whole hurricane thing, views on Sandy. First strike. Hey, Raymond, you keep saying this. I never said I don't want a nor'easter. I don't want 4 in a row. I love a nor'easter. Don't say I don't love a nor'easter. Delvin, I just 10.4 out of 10 for audio. Thank you. Oh, I know that feeling from the dorm rooms when I was back in college. Everybody's playing their sound system, playing video games. Couldn't hear anything I was listening to or just studying. Can't speak truth. What is... never mind. Forget it. No politics. Stop. Anyway, back to the science lesson. 90-degree angle here. That's the most possible advection that can happen. Warm air advection. The temperature is going to be going up over the next couple of days. So on the good old Tropical Tidbits website here, let's follow this. High pressure in place. What we're on. We're going to Saturday morning, fine. Sunday morning, okay still for most of the Northeast, but look at this. We got kind of a little wet area there with these tighter isobars. That's going to be maybe entering the area Sunday, but it also looks like, I forgot I can use these arrows. Go back one. That's about as close as it's going to get, it looks like. 9 days of August summer left, yeah. Oh, you said train. Yes, Raymond, I know what train means. I didn't see you said train. You didn't say train. Andrew doesn't want any nor'easters. I see Apple logo, umlaus, umlaus, umlaus. But no, I don't want a train of nor'easters. One, totally fine. A month later, another nor'easter, totally fine. Not one nor'easter per week. My bosses were not very happy dealing with one nor'easter every week. So we gotta keep that a little bit less this coming winter. All right, let's see what Monday. Oh, I keep forgetting about these arrows. All right, let's see. Monday, split again, it looks like. Northern areas, northern New York State going into Canada, may see some precipitation. New York City area, may not. Going into Monday night to Tuesday, there comes the next wave, so we may see some more wet weather. But the GFS is saying we do have a very nice stretch of weather for the next couple days, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and the first part of your day on Sunday. Maybe even going a little bit into all right. That wasn't even 20 minutes this time and the app just crashed. Oh, you put a train emoji. I cannot see emojis. I may be able to do this. Hold on. I'm going to show you what I see. As long as I don't rip this cord. That's so something I want. That I wanted. See what I see. app like the mode will not see. Thank you, Pete. I am Mr. Gadget. Careful word. Piece. Oh my. You this? Okay. The latency is interesting because I actually could choose what latency I want before the stream. But it looks like audio is fine. All right, away from the GFS. European. This is 8 p.m. There comes the high pressure. There is 8 a.m., high pressure in place. Now, if you notice that one little splotch right there on Thursday, the GFS kind of hinted at that a little bit, but not as much. But then going into Saturday, or the Friday first, beautiful day again. Saturday, still fine, but if you look off right here, right there to the west, that's where the precipitation's starting. Oh, Delvin, the other thing too. The DVR function is enabled with this YouTube stream right now. So that's where you can go back into earlier in the stream and then catch up and then come back to the live portion. If I do the ultra low latency option, because there is an ultra low latency, which about the 10-second latency delay is what this YouTube stream is set to. Ultra low latency could be maybe 2 to 3 seconds of a delay, but that DVR function would be disabled. So, up to you guys. Do you like that DVR? So if you're just joining in, not in the beginning of the stream, you can go back and look at different things in the active live stream and then catch up to the live moment. Or would you rather ultra low latency but no DVR? The other function, which I don't really use, is captioning. Captioning won't work ultra low latency, but I don't use it anyway. But that DVR function is kind of nice if you're coming in later in the live stream and you're trying to catch up, you're trying to pick through a couple different pieces and then join back with the live. Current system works fine? All right. Where are we? European. Let's see what this says for Sunday. So it stayed out of the area pretty much for Saturday. Now going into Sunday. Sunday may have some of those little showers is what the European's saying, getting into the central New York, lower Hudson Valley, but not really beyond that. Going into Monday. Monday looks like a better day here than on the GFS. Oh, never mind. I was thinking of the wrong day. So this is the GFS picture for Monday. And the European picture for Monday. Pretty similar. And then going into Tuesday, all right, still pretty dry except northern New York State there, especially this is 0Z Tuesday, or 0Z Wednesday, which is about 8 p.m. Tuesday. That's quite a bit of rain there. Then going into next Wednesday, doesn't look that bad. Maybe it's still a little showery here and there. Oh, it did. Interesting. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Audio level looks better. Wow, I did not even realize this app does that. Delvin, how does that sound? Do I sound any better? I think it looks like the audio levels are better on here. That was interesting. It actually, when the app crashed, it reset the gain level back down to 0. Not the input. So that iPhone that I had before, that's acting as my wireless mic pack. The gain level on that input stayed exactly the same. The gain level on the program, what's actually going out to YouTube, went back down to 0. So this app is great, has lots of great features, but it crashes so often. I love the app, but I don't know if I'm going to keep using it if it keeps crashing on me. Or I may just reach out to the company, try and figure out why it keeps crashing. But anyway, Monday we're back at. Sorry. Let's go through the GFS. Through Tuesday, there was that quick little burst of some rain moving through late Monday. Tuesday looks fine except until the afternoon. This is 18Z Tuesday, which is about 2 p.m. Going through the Finger Lakes, yeah, I may see some showers. Wednesday, let's just see what the picture shows. So that's 12Z Wednesday. And this is 12 Wednesday on the European. So European, GFS. Similar, but the GFS is showing a bit more widespread versus the European is very localized. We'll do this side. Localized to the Great Lakes region and then going into New Hampshire, Maine area. And just for giggles, the icon model. Now, I know you referred to... Ooh. Oh, interesting, Delvin. But, back to the icon model. It's actually maxed out right now because, I'll show you here, I don't think this has anything to do with tropical tidbits. I think this has to do with the icon model itself. Right up here. That's the model run. 12Z Tuesday, August 14th. That is the latest. Latest model run. Which is not new. So this icon model is useless right now. So, even though Joe Chaffee and myself don't necessarily like the Canadian, let's take a look at the Canadian. Oh, them good old Canadians. If anybody from Canada is watching, I've only been there once, but they're so polite. Even you may think of it stereotypical to say Canadians are polite, but you are. Canadian model, which I don't know why is one of the worst. Thursday, that has a lot more rain than I think was what's happening. None of the other models showed that much rain for Thursday. High pressure does move in place. Friday looks fine. Saturday looks fine until overnight Saturday, going to the Boston area there. That was a little bit different. Monday. Okay, little spotty showers and more so in the evening hours on Monday, which is similar. And then Tuesday, more so to the south, going maybe southern Jersey even, very close to that Cape May area. So maybe down there, Pennsylvania, yep. Wednesday, let's see, 18Z Wednesday. We'll ignore the icon. This is 12Z. Let's go to 18Z Wednesday on the Euro. And let's go to 18Z Wednesday on the GFS. And let's just compare each model here. So this is the GFS. That's the Euro. And that's the Canadian.
I didn't get that.
Alexa, quiet. Okay. Anyway, where's that mouse? Oh, here we go. So Canadian, European, and GFS. Labor Day. What day specifically is Labor Day? Let me see if I can find that. No, not on there. Is it? All right, let's go back here. Labor Day 2018. Monday, September 3rd. Thank you, Google. Let's see. So the NAM won't go out that far, certainly, but before we get into Labor Day, I just want to show you the NAM real quick. Yeah, with the NAM, let's see. Thursday, it looks very dry. Friday looks fine. Saturday looks fine. It still actually shows that low pressure system, whether it's a coastal system or not, still shows it, but it stays pretty much out of the area. But 84 hours? Yes, 84 hours. That's as far out as this NAM goes. But the other models go a little bit beyond that. So even though we went through Wednesday, which is my typical 7-day forecast, let's go a little bit beyond. And then we're going to wrap up the stream in a few minutes too. All right, there's the GFS. Oh, skipped it there. The Euro actually didn't go out that far. The Euro only goes out 200 meters. So Saturday, September 1st. That's the image. That's as far out as it goes. GFS actually goes a little bit beyond that. But this is the picture for 18Z, or more so 2 p.m. for Eastern 2 p.m. on Labor Day. Whether it's true or not, oh, wear the green tie. I've actually done that. If you look up my social media accounts, at WeathermanAP on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram, from St. Patrick's Day, I actually have a picture. I have a green tie with the green screen. I'll just show you real quick here. There goes the background. Okay, now we're just in a green background. That's pretty much what I'm seeing. Green wall. And what happens is there's a side monitor on this side and a side monitor on this side, so that way I can see what's going on. The only issue with the phone, see how when I move a little bit, that bright spot in the middle kind of changes? I gotta get some more lighting because it's a little bit darker down here and it's a little bit dark up in that corner until I just moved and it changed. I cannot on the phone set the live stream or set the camera to a fixed white balance. It's changing the white balance in the exposure. So this app actually does a really great job of mixing it because it doesn't really look bad at all right now. Even though the lighting wasn't the best, once I get a little bit here, it's a little bit hot on my back. But otherwise, it looks really good. It's just when I stand a little bit too close to the side lights, it has some issues. But this looks totally fine right now. Do I have anything green? I do have one thing green. Let's see. Oh, the green is too different. It's kind of going at the bottom. But the green is very bright. So this is the actual box itself. The green is brighter than the green screen. With that, the green screen is a little bit darker than this, and I can see that on my view. That was it for right now, but I do have a green tie that for television, not really for television, but for St. Patrick's Day, I've had fun with that. A green shirt, I do have green shirts, not in the studio, not near the studio. So maybe next time I'll bring some green stuff just to show you what it kind of looks like. I've actually not heard that story. Oh, but for working at the news station, t-shirts, if you walk it to work in a t-shirt, you will be sent back home unpaid. Because, no, it's not proper. Suits, for me, because it's a television thing, you have to be formal. That's kind of where I like having my own YouTube channel like this, because whether or not, like I just like wearing the polo shirts. Also, in terms of polo shirts, it's easier to have the mic clipped because that's where the buttons are, and right in the middle there, that's where the microphone can clip on very easily. So I like that. T-shirts are a little bit trickier with the microphones with most clips because the microphone's actually pointing to one of the sides and not straight up. Like right now, that microphone's pointing straight up at me. There are some clips that go on the end of the microphone that actually rotate, so you could have the clip down this way and take that microphone and rotate it around. That would work, but this one doesn't rotate. So the clip would be facing this way, the microphone is actually facing that way. That's how it's set right now on my the buttons on the shirt. Yeah, a green shirt. Next week I'll bring the green shirt on. But any last minute questions? Because about a few more minutes until end this. So essentially, for the week ahead, not too bad for the next few days. Nice days ahead, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even a little bit into Sunday. Going into the Monday, that's when the rain chances return. For Tuesday, not so much, but a little scattered chance of some showers. And then Wednesday, again, the same thing. And I'll end on the GFS for Wednesday. Yeah, just some scattered showers here and there. Nothing really too much. But pitch black at 8:30. Yep, same thing here. It's been pitch black, as I could kind of see a little bit through a corner. I try and use sun-blocking shades for the studio here because external lights can affect the light balance between all these side lights and my main key light. So I try and keep the outside light to a minimum, but I can see it's been pitch black probably since about 7:50. Any heat coming up? Well, for Boston, what I'm going to do, and we'll end with the thermodynamics. Wait for the GFS to kind of catch up there. I guess, yeah, I didn't talk too much about temperature, but August. Oh, I see what it's doing. Thursday. All right. Thursday. These are the temperatures in Fahrenheit that it's showing at 18Z Thursday. Nothing really too much there. Friday. Friday's getting into the 80s here. Cooler near the Finger Lakes there and a bit west. And again, this is just the GFS. Saturday. The darker 80s right around New York City there. That's actually, I think it says 85. Sunday, there is some heat out there. That heat is going into Virginia. There's the 90s down there. Monday, 90s. There we go. Even from North Carolina into Virginia, going up through Delmarva into the New York City area, and even northern Hudson Valley, and just barely kind of touching around the Capital District of New York. Yeah, and then going out even into Long Island, Connecticut, Boston area, all Massachusetts pretty much, 90s. Even that, I think that's a 90 for Vermont there. So, we got some heat coming there. Oh yeah, Delvin, that's very interesting. I will definitely look at that. But I'm going to end the live stream here. So, thank you all for joining. And also, I want to thank everyone that subscribed to get me 100 subscribers. I have, again, that custom now URL, the YouTube channel website, youtube.com/Andrew Pinero. And thank you for the 100 subscribers. Next goal is 1,000. At 1,000 subscribers, then that super chat function becomes enabled. So, this is meteorologist Andrew Pinero. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stick around on Wednesdays where I'm trying to get my weather podcast pretty regular, but I don't have a regular schedule, so I try and get that for you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video, and next Wednesday when I'm back at the green screen, I'll have that green shirt for you guys. Have a great evening, and I'll see you guys in the next one.